everybody, it's Michelle, and today I wanted to show you guys a cute little fall leaf themed card that I came up with. You guys know that I've been playing around with my Cuttlebug, and I've got some leaf shapes here that I cut out with some leaf dies with my Cuttlebug. And I thought these would be really cute on the front of a fall card. This one is a copper colored glitter paper and then a gold glitter paper, and this is sort of a rose gold glitter paper. And I got all of those from the same paper pack. This is a 6" by 8" size paper pack with all glitter paper, and I got this at Walmart. It has 4 different colors, 3 sheets of each. There's a silver, which I didn't use in this card, but I think I have something in mind for Christmas with that. And then there's the gold, and you can see I just cut out a little corner there to run through my Cuttlebug and cut my leaf shape. And there's the rose gold and the copper, and I think that's really pretty. And I think I'm just going to frame out the leaves on the front of my card and let that be the main feature on the front, and I'm not going to put any sentiment or anything on the outside. I wanted these to kind of be the feature, and we'll put a sentiment on the inside. And I have made an A2 size card base with a dark brown cardstock, sort of a chocolate brown color. And that is an A2 size, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 once it's folded. And to get that, I just cut across the middle of an 8 1/2 by 11. So halfway down the length of that is my 5 1/2, and it's still the 8 1/2 width. Just score that right in half at 4 1/4, and that makes your A2 card base. And then I've got a piece of craft cardstock, and that's going to be 2 5/8 by 5 1/2, the full height of the card. But I did go ahead and cut it a little bit longer at about 5 3/4, just to make sure that I didn't get my measurement off just a little bit. That way I can line it up and then just cut off my difference after that's on. And then we're going to have another piece inside of that of a beige cardstock. And I just want to show just barely an edge of the craft around that. So I cut my beige at 2 1/2 by 5 3/4, but that's going to end up 2 1/2 by 5 1/2, the full height of the card when I cut that away also. And we're going to put this one on the inside. Since we have such a dark card base, I'm going to put a light color inside so that we can stamp our sentiment, and that'll show up easily on there. And I cut that at 4 inches by 5 1/4. That way we'll have a little bit of the brown border around that. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in first, and I'm using art glitter glue, and this is really good for paper projects. I had been using the adhesive runner, but I found that that sticks a little too quickly on me and I don't have time to work. So I like the art glitter glue. That gives me a little bit more time to get it adjusted and lined up where I want it before it dries on me. But when it does dry, it holds really well. And if any of that shows, it does dry clear also. So I'm just going to line that up and just kind of eyeball the border all around so that that's even. And there's our inside of our card, and we'll stamp that in a minute. And then for my stripe, I want to put my beige cardstock onto my craft cardstock and use a little bit of my art glitter glue for that as well. And I'll just tell you guys, I was reluctant with that art glitter glue to use a liquid when I'm making cards, but it really is great. I do love the art glitter glue. So there you can see we've got just a little bit of that craft showing as a border around the beige. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that on the outside of my card, I think, before I put the leaves. That way I can get it just the way I want it. Get my excess trimmed away and everything before I worry about placing my leaves. And I want that to be kind of offset to one side. I'm just eyeballing that about a ½ inch from the spine of the card there. And adhere that down. And now I can just take my scissors and cut that off even. I was afraid if I cut it exactly to the length that I may get my measurement off just a little bit in my paper trimmer when I was cutting that, and then I'd come up short. So I thought it would be best to leave myself a little bit of wiggle room. So there's my stripe, and I think I want to put my leaves up on foam tape so that they've got a little bit of dimension. I'm going to kind of try to figure out my placement first. Get everything the way I want it. I think that looks pretty good right there. Going to get my foam tape on the back of there, and this is just a roll that I got at Dollar General, nothing fancy. Kind of fit it in there however fits in with whatever shape you're using. It's pretty thick, sturdy cardstock, so I think it's going to do pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and flip these over to help me a little bit, and I can see there I've got some of my foam tape showing, so I'm going to trim that off. And if I flip them over, that's going to help me with my placement. And this glitter paper does shed. I don't know if you guys can see, but I've got glitter all over my card. So we'll try to dust some of that away when we get everything put together. With this sparkly glitter paper, and then also popping it up on the foam tape to give it some dimension. I think that these leaves are really going to be a nice feature to the front of the card. use a paintbrush to dust away that excess glitter. And there's the front of the card. I don't know if you guys can see the dimension on there, but they do stand up nicely from the card. I think that looks good. So now we're going to stamp the inside and then we'll be done. And you guys know that I don't have a whole lot of stamps just yet, but I did buy this one set that kind of had a sentiment for every holiday. So I think I'm going to use Happy Thanksgiving from that, and that is by Hero Arts. I'm not sure of the name of this set. I think it was called Celebrate Every Day, but I will look that up and include it in the description for you guys. And along with the sentiment, I wanted to use just a couple of leaves. I'm going to use this maple leaf here and this one here with 2 leaves on it. And that'll add a little bit of interest to our sentiment so it won't be so plain on the inside. And then I can kind of line them up the way that I'm going to want them to be in the card. And get everything the way I like it. So then I can just pick everything up as one. And I'm going to ink that up with my Tim Holtz Distress ink in the color Ground Espresso. It's a nice dark brown that will go good with our card. I want to make sure that I ink it up really well. I want to come about 1/4 of the way down there. I think that makes a pretty good placement. And there's our sentiment inside the card and our glittery leaves on the front. Not too bad for my first card since having my Cuttlebug. It's simple, but I think that those leaves with that glittery fall paper on that dimensional foam tape really adds a lot of interest. So that helps me out a lot when I'm new to creating cards. I hope you guys like it. Comment below and let me know what you think. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Give me a like over on my Facebook page, and it would be great if you join our Facebook group as well. Follow me on Pinterest and Instagram, and don't forget to visit my blog. I'll put the links to all of those in the description below, so be sure and check those out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.